Back down the food plots today. It's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks since I came down here and disc up the food plot. What we're doing here today is we're going to take the disc and the tractor again, and we are going to lightly scratch the top to kill off the rest of this grass and weeds. It doesn't take a genius to see that a lot of the grasses have come back. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of worked soil, but you got a lot of weeds and all this kind of like switchgrassy kind of stuff here that has re-germinated, basically because first time I came down and disked it, there was a lot of that sod and stuff, and a lot of that grass will regrow. One pass got everything worked up pretty nice. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to set the depth on that thing as shallow as it can go, just so we can level out some of them clumps, chop up the lighter residue on top rather than turning all the soil over. So that's what we're gonna do here. Come back here, pull the pin if I can even get it out. There we go. And that's as shallow as it'll go there, which it'll still turn some dirt, but it's better than nothing. Here's the final product. We're planting the Ridgeline Seed. We're gonna put some 5-Star Plus in a small little kill plot over there, and we're gonna plant the 5-Star Rage here in our main C plot. I disked it this morning and ran the drag hair over it this afternoon. It's pretty dry for the most part on top. Then you get below the soil and you can see there's plenty of moisture. We're supposed to get a 1/2 inch of rain tomorrow, so hopefully that rain will kind of drive it in the soil a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to broadcast it on with the little hand spreader. We're going to take the drag hair over it, cover it up with some soil. Cool thing about brassicas is brassicas you could literally just broadcast on the soil. You wouldn't even have to touch it and it will germinate. By running the drag hair over it, we'll get plenty of seed to soil contact. There is clovers and some forage seeds in that Rage mix as well. And it's going to do a really, really nice job down here in this plot as long as it does not flood. This spot down here does sit in the floodplain. About once a year we get a hurricane that comes through and completely washes this entire bottom out. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen this year. Didn't happen last year, but we did get some heavy rains that kind of sat in some of these waterlogged spots. This area in particular right here sits pretty low, and that would waterlog if it did rain too hard. So for those of you interested in Ridgeline Seed, you can check them out, link in the description, honeyplots.com, go to their Instagram, Facebook, and all the whatnot. But basically what we got is we got 5-Star Plus, 5-Star Rage. 5-Star Plus is blend of radish, 2 turnips, 2 varieties of forage brassicas, and a variety of annual clovers. 5-Star Rage is this bag right here plus their 5-Star Forage. So Gunner, Triticale, rye, clover, radish, clover, forage, rape, brassicas. So the Rage is the mixture of the 5-Star Plus and the 5-Star Forage. I'm gonna put you guys on my hat. Let me know if it works. So I'll get down here and I like what I'm seeing a lot actually. Forage seed. Looks like forage, brassicas, that's a clover seed, I believe, brassicas, blah, blah, blah. I'll put the camera down for a little bit just so I can get this plot finished up here. You guys get the gist of what I'm doing. Err on the light side when planting brassicas. The worst thing that could happen is you plant too much brassicas and then it does nothing underneath the soil. You might have a nice canopy, but you ain't got anything going on underneath the soil. There's no bulb, root, nothing good for the deer to eat when it gets cold. So err on the light side. Worst case scenario when you plant light is every couple feet you have a brassicas plant, but it's got a big old root, bulb, whatever it is under there. Plenty for the deer to eat when it gets cold. So err on the light side. I did heavy side last year, was not impressed. I had spots that I planted lighter and they actually grew up really nice and had some good bulbs underneath. The spots that I planted heavy, which was the majority of that plot over there, wasn't great. It looked good on top, but it wasn't nothing underneath. For reference, the brassicas plot last year was a triangle back to there, front of the tree stand, and actually came over. All that tall grass was also the plot. Anyway, if you want to check out that plot, watch this video up here. I did a review on it last year. Now for kicks and giggles, I'm actually going to go back to a corner of the plot where I didn't do any disking or tillage. It was tall matted grass, and then the many times that I went over it, drove over it, took the drag hair over it, and the tractor tires got matted down and pulled some soil over it. We're actually going to take the rest of the seed that's in my little spinner there. We're going to go plant it over there just see what it does. This is the spot I'm talking about. You get down here, you can see the tractor tires tore up all the grass, drag here, everything. It's packed down, it's compacted, but there's plenty of moisture here. And if I just drop some brassica seeds on top, they're most likely going to germinate. So it probably wouldn't hurt to give it a whirl. Now we just wait, see what it does. I can almost guarantee you stuff's gonna grow there. So me being me, I'm always curious, right? I'm gonna do another experiment here. We got the dragged portion of the plot and we got an undragged portion of the plot. So I'm gonna drag everything else except this little square right here, and we're gonna see what happens. There's plenty of moisture here, as you can see. And this has been sitting in the sun all day. There's plenty of moisture here because the sun does not hit it as much due to, you know, the sky. And brassicas needs moisture. So this is where I'm gonna do my experiment. I am not gonna drag it at all, and I'm just gonna let the moisture do its thing and the rain do its thing tomorrow. We're gonna compare them undragged versus dragged. Now I dragged it around, a little bit dragged over there, but got this little square here, experiment time. A couple random spots that didn't get dragged. You can see right here, it didn't get dragged, that's all right. Dragging it's kind of important, but you know, I'd rather have a cultipacker, which I do, but it's broken at the moment. I really need to get my cultipacker fixed because the thing with the drag harrow, it's really cool and all, and it actually does a really good job at busting up clumps after you disc. But when it gets super dry, especially all this organic stuff here, it just likes to drag it up and make piles. That's why it's not my favorite thing for this application. A cultipacker would be much nicer because you run the cultipacker over and it just packs the seed right down. That drags soil over top, but it also drags everything else with it, including the seed. So hopefully with all this clumping going on, we don't have too much seed clumping as well. But we'll see how it does. That's it for this plot. On to the next one. This is a small little kill plot that I mowed down with the weed whacker, and I mowed it super, super low. Thought about coming in here with our small little chisel plow and tilling it up, but I decided I wasn't going to do that because I came down here earlier this afternoon, noticed that wasn't really any regrowth happening, which means I pretty much killed all the grass and weeds in here just by mowing it super, super short. So I took the drag harrow and I actually drug it, as you can see behind me, and exposed some soil and kind of loosened up some stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to spread some seed on here just as is, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did over in that little experiment plot. I'm not going to drag it because there's a lot of thatch on top, and I'm only going to make it worse by moving thatch around. And when I go and spread the seed on the thatch, what's going to happen is it's going to sit on the thatch, and then I'm going to drag it out and I'm going to get seed clumping going on. So I'm just not going to drag it. There's plenty of moisture here because it's shady and stuff. Rain tomorrow, I think we'll be all right. I decided, because I already got this bag open, I'm going to use this Rage mix in here, and we'll use this one in some more secluded spots, maybe some spots that I could just take a weed whacker and a rake and rake it up. Just a little bit of seed is all we need. Oh, what we got for seed here? Seed, worm. Well, my cousins and my pop-up were setting up a trail camera. He has a trail camera. He set it up right down there, so I was like, hey, let me just plant a little tiny food plot right in front of your camera. So I did that. Then I took the drag harrow down this four-wheeler trail that we never ride anymore. And I was looking behind me and I was like, hey, I'm actually kind of picking up some leaves, turning some soil here. So what if I planted this decently long trail with brassicas? And so that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. That's not super, super long, but it's something. It's a north-facing bench. I can't talk. It's a north-facing bench. Wish it was south, but it's not. But it's a bench nonetheless. South-facing hillside down over there. Get some big old buck rubs in here sometimes. Buck bedding kind of in this area. So plant this long little food plot here. Trail camera down there. Maybe this will kind of be an area where a buck might, you know, just walk his way down this little plot. Maybe I should set a stand-up down here, you know? I spread the 5-star plus right in this little spot, tiny little spot, but we're gonna continue it up the four-wheeler trail. I'll run the drag harrow over here quickly, and we're gonna see what it does. Experiment number 3.